individual managers, rather than committees, educate prospects before the demo, qualify aggressively, provide materials in advance, ask them to prepare specific information. The SaaS Playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 25 of 40, low number 3. Churn is the Achilles heel that kills or plateaus SaaS apps. Calculate gross revenue churn monthly. Gross MRR churn rate equals gross MRR cancelled divided by MRR at start of month. Churn benchmarks for most bootstrapped B2B SaaS. Greater than 10%, catastrophic. 8 to 10%, not good. 6 to 7%, mediocre. 4 to 5%, fine. 2 to 3%, good. Less than 2%, great for high. Price contracts, $25,000 plus per year. These thresholds shift down. Fine is 2 to 3%, good is 1 to 2%, great is under 1%. The plateau formula churn tells you exactly when you'll hit a growth plateau. Plateau formula, maximum MRR equals new MRR added monthly divided by monthly churn rate. Example, $5,000 new MRR per month with 10% churn, right pointing arrow, plateau of $50,000 MRR. Same new MRR with 2% churn, right pointing arrow, plateau at $250,000 MRR. Every SaaS founder should calculate their plateau number and put it on a live dashboard. It's a window into the future that gives you time to fix problems before they become crises. The three high metrics push these up. High number 1. Annual contract value, ACV. ACV equals the amount a customer will pay if they stay for a full year. 12 months times monthly subscription, or actual annual contract value. Walling recommends tracking ACV over LTV for bootstrappers. LTV is theoretically useful but practically misleading. A $5,000 LTV received over 8 years has very different cash flow implications than $5,000 received in the first year. ACV keeps you what you said on near-term revenue realities. The best ways to increase ACV: raise prices, target larger businesses, and create enterprise pricing tiers. High number 2. Expansion revenue, when existing customers pay you more as they get more value. This is tracked as a percentage of MRR that comes from upgrades, tier bumps, and increased usage by existing customers. When expansion revenue exceeds gross churn, you achieve net negative churn, meaning your revenue grows even with 0 new customers. This is the most powerful dynamic in SaaS and one of the key SaaS cheat codes. High number 3. Referrals. The SaaS Playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 26 of 40, the percentage of new customers referred by existing ones. High referrals signal product, market fit, and reduce CAC. Track it by asking, how did you hear about us? At sign up. Referred customers have higher conversion rates and take less sales effort. Proactively ask for referrals. Set up an automated email around the 60 to 90-day mark to happy customers. So much of our business is based on referrals. If you're enjoying the product, could you please pass the word along? This simple automation consistent LY produces new customers from nothing. SaaS cheat code. Virality high voltage SaaS cheat code. Virality. When every user you add has a viral coefficient greater than 0, meaning each customer brings at least a fraction of a new customer, you have virality. Strong viral loops, Slack, calendar scheduling apps, signature apps, mean using the product in here. NTLY exposes non-users to it. Weak viral loops, watermarks, powered by badges or free plans, expose your brand without creating a direct product experience. Virality is extremely difficult to retrofit. Design for it from the start if you want it. Note, you can absolutely build a SaaS company to millions in revenue with 0 virality. It helps enormously when you have it, but it's not a prerequisite. Segmenting churn. Seeing through the averages. Why aggregates lie a 2.5-star Amazon review with 1,000 reviews sounds mediocre. But if it's 505-star and 501-star reviews, that's a fundamentally different product. Loved by half, loathed by the other half. The same logic applies to churn. An 8% aggregate churn MIG-HT hide a $30 per month tier with 11% churn and a $100 per month tier with 4% net churn, negative, meaning expansion outpaces loss. Segmenting by pricing tier almost universally, low, paying customers churn faster and high, paying customers are stickier. Understanding this lets you make strategic decisions about tier pricing, support investment, and which customer segments to prioritize. Segmenting by marketing channels. Some marketing channels attract customers who stay, others attract customers who churn quickly. PPC leads often have lower LTV than CO or referral leads. Knowing this prevents you from pouring money into channels that generate impressive sign-ups but terrace eyeball retention. Segmenting by cohort, time, churn in the first 60 days often differs dramatically from churn at 12 months. Early churn often signals onboarding failure, customers aren't getting to value fast enough. Later churn often signals product, market fit gaps, customers find the product doesn't fully meet their needs. Each course requires a different solution. Finding your minimum path to awesome, MPA. The SaaS Playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 27 of 40. The MPA is the moment when everything clicks for a new customer, when they say, this is amazing. For a social media scheduler, it might be when they schedule their first week of posts. For an email tool, it might be when their first form is live and Captain Luring subscribers. At Drip, Walling built an internal dashboard tracking where each trial user was on the path to awesome, created email list. Installed form, activated form. This created leading indicators of conversion, well before the trial ended. To find your MPA, interview customers who are actively using and loving your product. Ask them, when did you first realize how this would help you? Vanity metrics to ignore 50,000 unique monthly visitors, 25,000 email subscribers, 100 new free trials weekly. These sound impressive until you ask, how many convert to paying customers? Vanity metrics are only useful in context of downstream outcomes. Page views that don't convert RT to trials are irrelevant. Trials that don't convert to paying customers are just infrastructure cost. SaaS cheat code. Net negative churn, high voltage SaaS cheat code. Net negative churn. When expansion revenue from existing customers outpaces gross churn revenue losses, your net churn is negative. This means you can add 0 new customers in a month and still grow revenue. When combined with new customer acquisition, net negative churn becomes a compounding flywheel that accelerates growth. It also significantly reduces your required CAC since upselling existing customers costs far less than acquiring new ones. To achieve net negative churn, build strong expansion revenue through value, metric pricing, and get gross churn below 2 to 3%. One without the other usually isn't enough. Key takeaway, track MRR, growth rate, and the 3 high, 3 low metrics. Calculate your plateau number. Segment churn to understand the real health of your customer base. Build toward net negative churn as your most powerful long-term growth lever. The SaaS Playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 28 to 40, part 7. Mindset. The inner game of building SaaS. Walling argues that more than half of being a successful founder is managing your own psychology. This section covers the mental frameworks, habits, and community structures that separate founders who thrive from those who burn out, stagnate, or quit. The 3 factors of success. Success as a founder comes down to 3 factors: hard work, luck, and skill. Their distribution varies enormously between founders. Jason Fried of Basecamp, when asked why Basecamp grew to 3 million accounts, responded, truthfully, luck and timing were ONE and 2. And we did a good job, too. But really it was luck and timing. You can only control 2 of these factors, hard work and skill. You can't control luck, but you can create favorable conditions for it through hard work and skill development. You can also control your mindset. Traits of successful founders bias toward action. Successful founders, when in doubt, do something. They don't wait for perfect information, they don't procrastinate, and they don't find reasons to take longer. They ship. A common failure mode, analysis paralysis, churning without making notable progress. Developing founder gut. Founder gut is the instinct that helps you tune out noise and find the right path. Some founders have it innately, most develop it through experience. You can accelerate its development by learning from others' mistakes rather than only your own, through masterminds, mentors, podcasts, and communities. My founder gut has made huge leaps when I'm around someone who's amazing at something I'm not. Rob Walling, managing your own psychology. Walling's wife, Dr. Sherry Walling, a psychologist who works with founders, has helped him understand that many founders who fail do so not because of market forces but because of mental blocks, unhelpful patterns, and poor psychology. Some founders succeed despite every obstacle thrown at them. Others self-sabotage at every turn. The difference is internal. Where to focus your time. Risk versus certainty. As your team grows and takes over execution tasks, you need a framework for deciding where to direct your own energy. Certainties. The SARS playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 29 of 40 tasks that need to get done and you know how to do them. Writing a specific feature, updating website copy, sending a newsletter, filing taxes. These can and should be hired out. They only require execution, not founder-level thinking. Risks areas where you're not certain of the right answer. Getting more customers, fixing product, market fit, repositioning the product. These require iteration, trying things, making mistakes, adjusting course. They require founder-level problem solving. Risks are what move the business forward. Key principle, delegate certainties. Focus on risks. As you hire, your job is to hand off everything that has a known solution, freeing you to work on the problems that don't have answers yet. Efficiency versus effectiveness. You can be highly efficient, doing 10 tasks in a day, while being ineffective if you didn't need to do 8 of those tasks. Effectiveness is doing only the 2 tasks that actually drive the business forward. Walling knows a founder with health limitations. WHO only works 3 to 4 hours a day but gets more done than founders working 10 hours, because he has ruthlessly eliminated everything non-essential. Speed bumps versus roadblocks. One of the most important mindset shifts Walling has made. Deliberately choosing to see problems as speed bumps, temporary slowdowns, rather than roadblocks, business, ending catastrophes. How speed bumps become roadblocks. Stress and uncertainty activate your lizard brain's fight or flight response. In constant fight or flight mode, most things feel like existential threats. A prospect rejecting your offer feels like the business will fail. A competitor raising funding feels like the end of your market opportunity. These feelings are almost always wrong. Walling's personal example, when trying to land a major customer for Drip, his inner voice said, "If you don't land this customer, the business is going to fail." That was factually inaccurate. They had multiple major prospects every month. It was a speed bump he had turned into AR roadblock. The optionality mindset. Walling's current practice. When facing a serious problem, map out 3 to 4 possible options if things go wrong. These options are usually not optimal. They involve spending more money, investing more time, or navigating awkward situations, but none of them will end the business. Making this mental shift from everything will end to we'll switch to plan B, C, or D has been one of the biggest leaps in his effectiveness as a founder. My biggest regret has been that I stressed too much about things that were going to work out. I made roadblocks out of speed bumps. Rob Walling, The Funding Decision. The SARS playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 30 of 40. Walling positions the funding decision under mindset because the mechanics are simple. The internal struggle is what's actually challenging. His view, funding is a tool, not a religion. Being anti, funding is like being anti-hammers. When funding makes sense, funding can save founders years by allowing them to hire earlier, invest in compliance sooner, and scale marketing before bootstrapping would permit. Examples from tiny seed companies. Castos use funding to hire senior sales and development people instead of juniors, compressing years of learning. Sinewell used funding to get SOC 2 Type 2 and HIPAA compliance early, unlocking major enterprise deals. SavvyCal used funding for SEO and marketing investment that shaved a year off organic growth in personal terms. In business, money saves years. If you're working nights and weekends, raising enough to fund a year of your salary can be transformative. When funding doesn't make sense, Walling recommends against raising before meaningful product market fit because your valuation is lower. You're likely to burn through most of it finding PMF, and money exacerbates bad decisions. It doesn't fix them. If you don't know what you're doing, more money means bigger mistakes faster. Don't torch your cap table common cap table mistakes that make companies uninvestable. Giving too much equity to an early agency, advisor, or investor. Examples. Founder owning only 30% after giving 70% to an agency. Giving 60% to an early investor who put in $50,000. Not vesting founder equity. If a co-founder leaves after 6 months but owns 33%, you're working for the next decade to put money in their pocket. Always vest founder equity. Standard is 4 years with 1 year cliff. Talk to a lawyer before setting up any equity structure. The 3 drawbacks of funding: time investment. A typical angel round can feel like a part-time job for 3 to 6 months. Added complexity. Every investor on your cap table adds reporting requirements and signature obligations. Selling equity. Funding only creates value if you can grow the business's value faster than the equity you sell. Finding community. Masterminds and mentors. Why masterminds matter. The SARS Playbook by Rob Walling, comprehensive summary, page 31 of 40A Mastermind, is a small group of founders with similar trajectories who meet regularly to share wins, problems, and advice. Walling started championing them a decade ago after experiencing their impact firsthand. 3 benefits. Growth, get informed advice